Imagine building a modern subway and accidentally uncovering an entire ancient civilization underneath. Today, we're exploring the brand new Metropolis of Thessalonians Museum, where the incredible finds from the Thessaloniki Metro are finally seeing the light of day. Let's head inside. At the time of upload, the museum does not yet have a dedicated official website, so always check the latest information before visiting. During its first period of operation, entrance is free until June 10th. The museum is open from 8:30 in the morning until 3:30 in the afternoon, and it is closed on Tuesdays. We'll keep any useful updates in the description when new information becomes available. In the final chapter, we'll also explain how to get here from the city center, and we'll show you the temporary entrance, because the main entrance was not open during our visit, and it can be easy to miss. We begin on the ground floor, where the exhibition introduces the areas that once lay outside the city walls of Thessaloniki. This part of the museum brings together finds from several metro excavation points, including the new railway station, Demokratias, Sindrivani, Panepistimio, Fleming, and the Pilea Depot. Here, the story moves away from the big city center and into the everyday lives of the people who live just outside the walls. Burial grounds, workshops, storage spaces, inns, early Christian religious buildings, and traces of life that developed around Thessaloniki across different periods. The eastern and western necropolises are especially important here. The displays include funerary steles, jewelry, golden wreaths, larnakis, decorated sarcophagi, Roman funerary altars, wall paintings, mosaics from an early Byzantine basilica, and a built vaulted tomb. These are not just isolated museum objects. They show how people lived, worked, worshipped, and remembered their dead around the city. The museum itself also has its own layered history. It is housed in the restored A3 barracks building of the former Pavlos Melas military camp, a late Ottoman period structure from around 1895. The building was once part of a military complex, later stood inside a closed and underused urban area, and is now being transformed into a cultural landmark inside the new Metropolitan Park. We'll return to the outside exhibition in a later chapter, because some of the most impressive pieces are displayed in the open-air area around the building. On the upper floor, the museum moves into the heart of Thessaloniki itself. This is the largest part of the exhibition, and it focuses mainly on finds from the Venizelos and Hagia Sophia metro stations, 2 points located inside the historic city walls. The layout follows a central route, almost like walking along a road through time. This is not accidental. The exhibition connects the movement of the visitor with the long urban axis of Thessaloniki, the predecessor of today's Egnatia Street, and with the linear path of the metro itself. The story is arranged in 7 chronological sections, from the foundation of the city in 315 BC to the Great Fire of 1917. As you move through the floor, the city changes around you. Hellenistic, Roman, early Christian, Byzantine, Ottoman, and modern Thessaloniki all appear through objects, reconstructions, digital material, and short videos. The road is the main character here. It shows how the same urban line remained important for centuries, while the city around it was repeatedly reshaped by trade, earthquakes, sieges, fires, religious life, everyday movement, and political change. The signs are in both Greek and English, so international visitors can follow the story without needing a guide. But one strong suggestion: do not skip the videos. They are short, easy to watch, and even show their total duration at the top right, so you know exactly how much time they take. They help connect the objects with the actual city above them. During our visit, the staff were extremely helpful, welcoming, and patient with our many questions. That makes a real difference in a new museum, especially when the space is still fresh and visitors are trying to understand how the exhibition works. We spent almost 90 minutes walking inside and outside the museum, and that was with a steady pace. If you stop at every object, read every panel, and watch every video carefully, the visit can easily take longer. Inside, you will also find toilets and a museum shop, while the cafe is on the ground floor. We'll show more of that in the next chapter. The wider area is also changing. This museum is only one part of the transformation of the former Pavlos Melas camp into a large public park and cultural zone. More buildings are still under construction or being prepared for new uses, and the surrounding area is planned to become a green urban space for walking, culture, and public life. And if you are already here and want to add one more meaningful stop nearby, about 800 meters back toward the city, to the south, you can also visit the Zeitenlik Allied Military Cemetery, one of Thessaloniki's most important remembrance sites. Outside the museum, the visit continues in the open-air archaeological exhibition. You can walk around the building and see large pieces that were too important to remain hidden, but also too large to be presented like small objects inside display cases. One of the highlights is the late antique villa discovered during the metro works at Hagia Sophia station. Its mosaic floors date from the second half of the 4th century to the early 5th century AD. Parts of the villa's walls, its hypocausts from the bathing areas, and other architectural elements were removed, conserved, and placed here so visitors can understand the scale of the building. Some of these remains are protected under a modern cover, with pathways around them so you can observe them from different angles. This part of the visit feels different from the indoor museum because you're not only looking at objects, you are walking around fragments of actual buildings that once stood in the city. Nearby, you can also see 2 marble sarcophagi from the western necropolis of Thessaloniki, discovered during the construction of Demokratia station. One was an untouched 4th century sarcophagus containing 3 burials and gold grave goods. The other was an inscribed 3rd century sarcophagus that contained 4 burials. The exterior displays also have signs in Greek and English, so it is worth taking your time outside instead of treating it only as an entrance area. At the ground floor, there is also a cafe with an outdoor seating area, including chairs and tables, which makes the museum feel more connected to the park around it. As the wider Metropolitan Park develops, this exterior space should become an even stronger part of the visit. The museum is located at the former Pavlos Melas camp, inside the Metropolitan Park area in Stavroupoli. From Demokratia's metro station, it is about 2.2 kilometers away. On foot, the walk can take a little more than half an hour, depending on your pace. A more practical option is to continue by bus. From a stop close to Demokratia's metro station, several bus lines serve the area, and the ride should take around 12 minutes, depending on traffic. The useful stop for the museum is called Tachydromio, next to the Hellenic Post Office building. From there, look toward the south side for the entrance. During our visit, the main entrance was not open, so the temporary entrance was the one to use. It is not difficult once you know where to look, but it is easy to pass by if you arrive expecting a large museum entrance directly on the main side. So before visiting, check the latest access details, look for the temporary entrance if the main one is still closed, and give yourself enough time. This is a new museum, but it already feels like one of the most meaningful ways to understand Thessaloniki. Not only as a modern city with a new metro, but as a place where every new layer still reveals an older one underneath. Subscribe to Best Travel Video for more travel videos. Before you go, you can find everything in one place. travel videos, city walks, tech guides, plus full ebook and audiobook versions. You can access it through the link in the description or the QR code on screen.